Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots and lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're actually working through your paper on exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store, and now we're going to go ahead and complete this first paper. So we're going to complete paper A of 2017 practice papers. So if you'll turn with me to page 5, we're going to have a go at question 7. I always recommend that you have a go of this first of all on your own, even if you make mistakes. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. You'll learn it more thoroughly that way than just by copying. Or you can just listen to the first part of the explanation and then just hit pause, have a go at it yourself, and then you can re-access into the video once you've had a crack at it. So, question 7 asks us to rewrite the following melody, and we need to group or beam the notes correctly. And the important thing when you're beaming is you need to reflect each unit, each new beat as you beam. So it's better to just get the thinking done first of all before you start worrying about copying it out. So let's do the thinking and let's look at where each new beat falls. So we've got beat 1 here, 3 in the time of 2 gives us another beat. So there's one beat. 2 half a beats make a beat. We've got 3/4 of a beat and 1/4 of a beat. So that semiquaver, that 16th note, belongs to the last part of that beat. And then we know 1, 2, 3, 4/4 of a beat make a whole, so they belong together. And so the mistake would be to think 1, 2, 3, 4 and beam those 4 together. That would be incorrect because that is the last remaining 1/4 of a beat from here. There's a beat on its own. 2 halves make a beat, so there's a beat. 2 halves make a beat, and that's the thinking done. So if you just get that thinking done, now the beaming part is easy peasy. So let's just get the note heads in. So we're just going to do everything that doesn't require any thought. I'm keeping everything reasonably aligned to theirs, just so I don't get lost. We've got enough to be thinking about without stretching notes out and running out of space or losing track where we are. So we're going to have to do a bit thinking about stems as well. So let's just leave that for the moment and get the note heads in. It's a matter of just dividing everything down into manageable size tasks, really. Okay, so there we have a beat on its own, so that just stays with a stem. We've got 3 in the time of 2, so of course they will be beamed together. That's one beat, and then we've got 2 beats here. Stems can still go down, they can be beamed, and that's so much easier to read now. We can definitely see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. All of this is to make performance issues as simple as possible. So we've got a 3/4 of a beat and 1/4 of a beat. They belong together. Just use a ruler there. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 together. So we need to decide which way the stems go. This needs to go down, this needs to go down. That can go either way. This one needs to go up, but it's outvoted. So we'll go in the favour of those that have outvoted it. There's our 2 lines. There's one beat on its own. They join together. One beat on its own, 3 beats. There we go. So that's nice and simple. So it's always better to get your thinking done first and then deal with each task individually. Question 8 is multiple choice now in this newly revised exam syllabus. Don't think that makes it any easier though. In actual fact, sometimes it can really throw you off the scent. There's a few red herrings thrown in here. And so there's no alternative but just to revise these terms. I always suggest that you group them thematically. Don't forget this is all of grade 1 and all of grade 2 now, so you need to just link all those words together. So for example, adagio means slow, and so I would group that with lento from your previous grade so that you know they both mean slow. You could even colour code it. So let's just recap. They've given us an example here. Con moto means with movement, and so they've ticked that box there. So adagio means slow, so tick that box there. If you're not sure, just have a go, just try, and then if it's wrong you can always rub it out and try again. It's just better to try first of all. So non troppo means not too much. Sostenuto means sustained. MF, mezzo forte, means moderately loud. F is forte, the M is the moderate or the mezzo, so that will be that one. And then here we have the symbol that is the same as diminuendo or decrescendo. You can see the volume is closing off, fading away. It's gradually getting quieter. Be careful you don't get tricked, and it's nothing to do with speed, it's volume. So that's that question complete. So if you turn with me over the page, we have, just try and get that. We have the final questions, all relating to this little piece of music here. So it says, look at this melody and then answer the questions below. So I'm going to have to do a bit of page shuffling, I'm afraid. So give the time name, so whether you say crotchet or quarter note, quaver or eighth note, whichever system you use, that's fine. We need to name the longest note of the melody. So just glancing through, we've got a minim or a half note, but then we've got one with a dot, which is of course longer still. So it's a dotted minim or a dotted half note. Either one of those would be acceptable. There we go. Let's see what the next one asks. So the melody is in the key of A minor. Give the number of a bar that contains all the notes of the tonic triad in this key. Bear in mind, a triad, the tonic triad is built on the first, the third and the fifth degrees of the scale. So if we're in A minor, A is the first, B, C is the third, D, E is the fifth. So we're looking for A, C, E. It may not be in that particular order, but that's where we need to look. So let's have a look. So we've only got an A here. None of those will do. We've got an A, that won't do, that won't do. We've got an E here, an A and a C, so that would answer. CBA, there's no E in that bar, so that won't do. There's no A in that bar, and there's just an A in that bar. So the only acceptable answer for that question would be bar 5. Which of the key has the same key signature as A minor? So we need to remember the related key. Every minor key is paired with a major key, and A minor is related to or shares the same key signature, in this case of no sharps or flats, as C major. Just have to learn those pairs of keys. Moving on, we're cracking on. Answer true or false to this sentence. The last two notes in bar 1 should be played slightly separated, semi-staccato. So bar 1 we have here, and that is true. It looks like a bit of an impossible situation because it looks like we're asked to play staccato and legato. and that literally just means semi-staccato or slightly separated. So that's true. And then how many bars contain a crotchet or quarter note rest? That would be the one that looks a bit like that. So let's just count. We've got one there and one at the end, so just 2. And so now we're asked to copy out the music from the start of bar 1 to the end of bar 4. We get 10 marks for not really thinking, just neatly copying. So make sure that you do keep it neat as possible. And also make sure that you copy out the correct bit. It's from bar 1 to the end of 4, but don't presume it will always be from the first bar. Sometimes it's later bars they ask for. They even helpfully tell us, don't forget the clef, the time signature, tempo marking, dynamics, and all other details. So there's no excuses really for missing anything. We've just got to keep our eyes peeled. So I'm going to align my bars. Let's just have that there. So I'm going to align my bars with theirs. There's bar 1, bar 2. They're quite spacious bars, but I'll keep it as they've done it. That way I'm not going to lose track where I am. Remember, it's not this line, it's this line. So we want our clef. Key signature, there is none. Time signature. Tempo marking, so we need to write the adagio. So if we remember from the previous questions, adagio is slow. Ma non troppo, but not too much. That's what that means. Bit of revision there. Piano, quietly. If it helps you, by all means, even write your bar numbers at the top. We're going to have a tenuto there. So just the blobs to put in now. Do this in any order. I'm just going to do the note heads first. I suppose I'll put the sharp in now. And again. That sharp tells us it's A minor, not C major. There's our raised 7th. There we go. Stems. And I will also now put these articulation marks in as well. Another staccato, an accent. Quite a lot of precise articulation marks here. So here that needs a slur and we need a crescendo. There we go. That's all of that question complete. Well, I do hope that you found that helpful. I hope that you're enjoying working through this as much as I am. I'm really enjoying working through these papers with you. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great. And please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please also do visit sharonbale.com and make use of all of the information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.